morning to all the participants today. It's a pleasure to have you amongst us today for yet another wonderful session by a charismatic and charming leader, Mr. Jinnah, on the topic Halal Global Market. Just to give you a small brief about Mr. Jinnah, he's the founding chairman of United World Halal Development, Singapore. He's a pioneer in the evolution of alternative business strategies along the concept Halal, a global perspective of health and hygiene, and a major instrument in the World Halal Day initiative. Mr. Jinnah has started the noble initiative World Halal Day, which is observed on November 1st every year to bring Muslims and non-Muslims to understand the common value of halal way of life to mankind. Mr. Jinnah has traveled to more than 102 countries and has been a part of a lot of initiatives supporting the halal concept. I would like to welcome you all for this wonderful session, and I hope you enjoy it. Handing over to you, Mr. Jinnah.
Okay. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Thank you very much for the great introduction. And good morning. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu for everyone. Before we start with the dua of the people who have been suffering globally with the pandemic, there are hundreds of thousands of people, millions of people will be suffering in the corona COVID-19. So we take this time to pray for the Almighty. May Allah give a blessing for the entire mankind in the world. So with that note, and there is a connection with the coronavirus, and later I will touch base with the subject, how is connected, related to halal and the incidents what we are suffering today with the COVID. So I would like to extend my sincere thanks to Ikhlas Academy, the IAS Academy, who has invited me to given a great opportunity to meet everyone today to share the global perspective of what is halal. So before I start my topic today, halal, most of the time the Muslim even understand about halal means as a meat. So it's Arabic word. When you translate into the English, it will be reflect as a clean, hygiene, ethical, lawful, and good for the mankind. So that's the value of halal. But today in India and most of the Muslim country has been participating halal as a meat-based product. So let me later on touch base what kind of value the global halal industry today and why the Muslim is not participating this 6.8 trillion market around the world.
Brother, sorry to interrupt. Would you like to switch on your video?
Yeah, hold on. Can you see my screens?
The screen is clear. Yes, brother. Screen is clear.
Okay, good.
Yeah, we can see you now. Alhamdulillah.
Okay. So Allah says truly God does not change the condition of the people until they change what is in themselves. So if you are not changing ourselves, Allah says, no, I will not change your condition. So in that perspective, we are the responsible for here and hereafter. So every action we do here, we are the only person to take the responsibility. Let's move on to the global industry. What is the Muslim population around the world and what we are doing in India and rest of the Muslim world. If you see the numbers in the screen, the global halal market value about $8.6 trillion. You can see the Muslim population around the world. Europe, we have 51 million. Asia, we have a 1.2 billion. And you can go to Africa, 461 million. In South America, we have 1.6 million. North America, we have 8.26 million. So altogether, the Muslim representing this world, it's about nearly 1.86. Within 10 years time, we are going to reach 2 billion Muslim population across the globe. MashaAllah. This is a great number. And what this number is reflecting into the industry, in the real industry today. If you see the number, total global halal market, so most of the time, as I mentioned here, the primary target, most of the people think about the meat industry. So meat industry is just only for 10%, but the remaining percentage will be carried out from 38% of the food and beverages. And you can see the pharmaceutical, bakeries, cosmetics, and nutritional products. So altogether, globally, the volume of food alone, it's a $3 trillion across the globe. Let's move on. I hope most of the people aware of these brands. It's very familiar wherever you travel, even in India and the rest of the world. These logos, these names is very much familiar. Okay, let's move on. When you talk about chocolate, biscuits, F&B, FMCG, you can see the logos are very familiar to us, correct? Cosmetics, same story. P&G, Unilever, Garnier, D&G, Olay, Colgate and Palmolive, L'Oreal. These all branded. Wherever you go, you can find these brands everywhere. When it comes to medical pharmaceutical industry, GSK, Johnson Johnson, GE Health, Pfizer, Novartis, again, they dominated from the western side. If you can see the global logos, I'm not seeing, I've been traveling for almost 108 countries as of now, and I did not find any one logo which represent Muslim countries. Brother, you can look at this map, this picture very carefully. You could not find any one logo which representing Muslim as producing chocolate, Muslim is producing biscuit, or Muslim is producing XXX. You can't find this logo. Okay, it's a shame on us, and we have a 2 billion market with representing 8.6 trillion market globally, but nowhere we play. Even we can't make pickles in India, we can't make papadams in India. This is not a rocket size factories we need, and like a scientist and big laboratories is required. Just making a pickles, we do not have a facility in India, and the Muslim is not producing anything. We are the consumer, we don't produce anything in the world. It's a shame on us. I can find only 2 logos in the global map today, because the reason why most of the people know these 3 airlines industry, they are participating in FIFA World Cup or they're participating in Olympics. Other than that, you will not see Emirates, Qatar, and Etihad. Okay, so hope most of the people drinking coffee daily basis or maybe weekly once. The coffee came from the Muslim land, from the small village in Yemen. People used to take coffee in 7th century. From there, it developed the coffee concept. But today, you can see who is managing, who is monetizing in the coffee industry. These are the 4 or 5 industries. So we are the invented. We invented many things in the world, but we do not market it well, but we do not representing well in the global position. And somebody is taking our ideas and they go global concept like Starbucks, Nescafe, you name it. Globally, you go any country, you will find these logos. So again, back to the Quran, and our prophets say, we are the people who always talking, reading, but we are not implementing anything in our life. So if you are not implementing, that's the result what I have mentioned earlier. Okay, let me skip one video ahead. So to produce chocolate, even as a small industry chocolate, I just wanted to take one industry chocolate, you need to have at least 5 to 7 ingredients to make a chocolate. You need a butter, you need a cocoa, you need a sugar, you need colors, you need a sweetening products, you need a R&D laboratory, how to make the chocolate. So today the industry has been very great. Scientists, Muslim scientists, it's lacking. Intellectuals, there are a lot of intellectual globally Muslims, but where we are representing, there are a lot of doctors, there are a lot of inventors, there are a lot of engineers, everywhere the Muslim, but we are not united as a one, and we are not bringing back to the community to produce anything for the mankind. So what is happening for the past 800 years? We did not produce anything to the world today. As of now, there is no one Muslim brand you can mention that, okay, this Muslim brand supplying for medical, except for Cipla. For Cipla, we are the one who certified 5 years ago as a halal certification. And today, Cipla has been distributing the medicine for almost 35 countries across the globe. So this kind of industry we need to bring with the young entrepreneurs from the Muslim environment to start the micro level business, to enlarge within the Muslim community in India, we are representing almost 20% population in India. But in the other hand, we did not produce anything to the Muslim community or the non-Muslim community. So for the past 800 years, the Muslim community is in coma till now. So what is required to establish the entrepreneurship, leadership, right? So everything is a potential. You need to have a fair trade, the ethical practices, and you need to have a processes, business strategy, marketing strategy, global marketing values. Everything it's available today, but we are not looking for that opportunity. We are most of the time the Muslim community, even the young entrepreneurs or the business people, they are not investing their investment into the food industry as of now. So let's take about 57 Muslim countries. Just give a blueprint what is happening in the 57 countries. You name it, farming, for example, Bangladesh, Indonesia, they have, and Malaysia, they have a great farming lands and cultivation process, manufacturing lands, supply chain, everything they have. Why they can't produce? Because we need to have a knowledge-based community. What is knowledge-based community? You need to set up a laboratories to do the food science, to create a new model of food, which equal to translate to be as a halal food. So most of the time, as I mentioned, halal is misunderstood or miscommunicated to the non-Muslim. Halal is only representing meat. Meat is just one part, but the rest of the food chain. Today, the Muslim eating non-halal product, we can name it any number of product, India and Middle East country, in Europe country. So the awareness about halal in Singapore, I'm living in Singapore, the 95 to 98% of the food production is halal certification. I name it McDonald's, KFC, Pizza Hut, you name it, any international brand, they are certifying halal in Singapore. Why? We are receiving 23 million tourists every year in Singapore. The total population of Singapore today is only 5.5 million population, in which the government is attracting 23 million visiting Singapore every year. That is a success story. So, as I mentioned earlier, there is no food of a big chain industry in the Muslim land. We have a raw materials. We have raw materials. We have resources. We have a technology, but we are not implementing in the ground. The problem, again, I'm saying I have visited many times to Gulf countries and even India, especially with the Ramadan. We are throwing food. N number of food. The Muslim is the one who's wasting food everywhere. So that equal to when you go to Hajj, particular to Hajj, I did one of the studies in Hajj. Every year during the Hajj period, we are wasting 10,000 tons of food within 30 days time. This is happening every year. And during Ramadan, you cannot calculate what kind of number of food we are wasting across the globe. Okay, when we call it as a developing G8 country, why not G57? We do not have the kind of a think tank and people can ability to bring this awareness to the community level and ensure the Muslim community is enriched. The actual problem, what you're saying, within the Muslim country or Muslim leadership, we are fighting each other. Who's right, whose ideology is right, who's talking right, and who's going to be followed. So we are stuck in that middle of the sea. We are not moving into any direction and we can't produce to anything to the world, and we are just end user and eating whatever the manufacturer produced. Even we don't see whether this has come from halal source or non-halal source. We are not having that kind of knowledge-based community in our community to read the ingredients what they are eating in a daily basis. So this topic is about one day session because our brother has requested me to squeeze within 30 minutes to 40 minutes. And I'm just giving a nutshell, no? So inshallah, when the times come, we will represent one day seminar or workshop to talk about what is halal, why halal industry has been developed in non-Muslim country rather than the Muslim country. So if you look at the Muslim country, no, we are not producing. As I mentioned earlier, the problem with the Muslim country, the Muslim land, the food science and technology, we are not investing anything into the laboratory. Whereas the non-Muslim country, they are more into the technology base, they are investing more into the laboratory, and they do a lot of research, R&D work, and they're bringing new product to the industry today. So the potential Muslim entrepreneurship, what is required at this point of time, we need to have a finance. So today, if the Muslim entrepreneur wanted to start something as a SME level, they need a finance. Without the finance, they can't do that. What happened? They're stuck with the loan base, the bank loan base, where again, the Sharia compliance banking is not in India. So most of my content, I'm talking about a global perspective, but again, I'm touching base with the Indian, what is missing into the Indian base. We do not have a chamber of commerce. I think we just started 1 or 2 chamber of commerce in the recent year I'm seeing in India. But for the past 60 years, there is no chamber of commerce in India to representing the Muslim businesses. And we do not have any kind of government framework and governance to help the Muslim entrepreneur, what kind of factory they need to be take, what are the certification, the government's, it's everything's available, but we are not giving into the enhancement method to the Muslim entrepreneur to start their small level kind of SME business in India. So at the end of the day, there are a lot of business opportunity for Indian product. And I can mention there are 2-3 brands I wanted to convey what we have done for the past 15 years in India. So we are the certified body in India named Halal India. And most of the people you have noticed that there's a brand name called Bovancho. It's a Kalimark brand, and we develop as a halal certified brand. Today, Kalimark is available in 15 countries. Achi Masala is available in 22 countries. Shakti Masala is available in 15 countries. You name it. Bikanewala, Amul, these are the giant, and Haldiram, GSK. Most of these people, the non-Muslim community, taking leverage on halal product, and they're exporting to global, and they're gaining the global market, which is a representing $8.6 trillion market across the globe, and they're enjoying the benefit. Whereas the Muslim community, we are a end user, we don't produce anything, and instant we're just eating and we are spending. So what is missing in India today? As I mentioned earlier, the entrepreneurship is missing. We are not giving a guidance, or maybe as a group to communicate with the people to invest towards the Muslim young Muslim entrepreneur to bringing their new ideas, new product. Even you start today like a papadam or pickles, it's a small industry. You can export to 15 to 20 countries within the 2 to 3 months time. The market is open, very much flexible, and people are in Europe, Singapore, Malaysia, even the rest of the America, rest of European country, the Muslim community, non-Muslim community understand very well about halal. In India, halal is being treated as a religious aspect, rather is a scientific aspect. But most of the country like Singapore, we don't treat halal as a religious, we treat halal as a science. So every halal certified product, it's a clean, hygiene, that's give a complete value to the product, and the non-Muslim believe the halal certified product ensuring its health. So that kind of market we are talking about. What is missing? We need to start today. We need to create a young entrepreneurs to understand the halal market in a global, to bring the new think tanks ideas to investment, the investors, the business people in India to set up a incubation ideas to explore it what we have today. So at the end of the day, if we can start today, even in 5 to 10 years time, at least we can represent 10% of Muslim product to go global. It's not necessarily you can mention a Muslim name in the brand because of the Indian secularism what we are living in the country is a tough. You can go with the mainstream name like Star, very common name like any common name XYZ, instead of you just put as a Muslim entity name. So that's give a great value to global, and we have a good contacts in 112 countries with our network. If any halal certified product, we can bring this product to global. Now the clock start every individual who participating today to get a basic knowledge about halal industry, where we are missing and what needs to be done to the Indian market. That's most important. Let's move on to Q&A section. I'm rather more interacting with you to give a more into the presentation more. Thank you.
Thank you so much, brother, for such a brief and a very exciting presentation which you've given on your expertise on halal industry all over the world. I would request all our participants who are there today to start posting your questions. Brother is more interested in interacting with the participants and trying to help you understand the halal market better. Even in India and many other places all over the world, he has a special expertise in the international market, especially in the halal industry. So I would request all the participants to make best use out of the time which is available right now. So, brother, I will start with the first question. How is halal certification? I mean, how is halal certified? Are the certifications time bound or globally applicable?
Okay, globally, every country except 4 countries, no, I can name it: Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, Brunei. These 4 countries, the government is doing a certification authority. Rest of these 4 countries, 112 countries, is being done by NGOs or private or maybe it's association. So we in India, there are 7 halal certified body recognized globally, which 3 is a more potential and reliable halal certification body, and they have certified n number of products across the globe. Halal India is one of them, and we have a Jamiatul Ulama and we have a Jamiatul Ulama Hind. These are the 3 major halal certification bodies around in India where they are certifying product, and this product is available across the globe.
Alhamdulillah. Brother, the next question is: how do non-Muslim countries and in general non-Muslims across the globe react to halal and halal food in particular?
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, only in India we are seeing this kind of problem. Halal means it's related to meat or related to Muslim environment. Countries like Thailand is a Buddhism country, and Thailand exporting almost $20 billion worth of product every year to the Middle Eastern European countries, even ASEAN. So they are the big giant in ASEAN who produce $20 billion worth of product, but the people from Thailand is a Buddhist community. And they believe halal is nothing to do with the religion. Halal is not intact with the religion. Halal is ensuring the food is clean and hygiene.
Okay, brother. The next question would be: what is the scope of halal industry in India?
It's a very big scope. As I mentioned, India is the 3rd largest manufacturing into the world, next to America and China. India comes to number 3rd place. So where I don't see any Muslim people, Muslim leaders who investing in the food industry or in the cosmetic industry or in a F&B industry. So these are the main area where Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh, Telangana have a great potential. We can start a lot of n number of halal industry in this area in South.
Okay. Brother, another question would be: how do brands handle the boycott of food products when they are halal certified, like recent case of Toblerone?
Yeah, correct. See, even they're targeting many halal certification institute, including mine, and they're saying that we are collecting money from the acting of the terrorists. This is what generally people are speaking, correct? So
yes,
if they understand, that's why we are, as a Muslim community, we are failing to educate the non-Muslim. Halal is not the religion. Halal is most into the food science. It's a food culture. I give you one example. And people, we used to eat fruits. That fruit contain with no seeds, correct? That's called GMO, or we can call it as a GE. What is GMO? Genetically modified organism, or we can call it genetically engineered. So when the people start eating GMO food within 5 to 7 years or 10 years time, the scientifically prove that people are getting cancer. So halal is not only playing a part of meat, halal also representing with vegetables and fruits. If it's genetically modified, it's harmful to mankind. Halal does not apply into that stage. I'll give you another example. People think that the slaughtering method should be halal. It's not only slaughtering method. The feed which you are giving to the chicken, the feed you're giving to your lamb, the feed you're giving to your buffalo or maybe your beef, that feed is come from non-halal source today. And they are injecting heavily with the steroid. If you start taking a steroid chicken, like broiler chicken, that's why you are seeing a major portion of cancer patient today and diabetic patient in Singapore. in India. Whereas when it comes to Singapore, we are doing this halal slaughtering without injection, without steroid. You can see the difference, no? So halal is not only, so this is why where we fail to educate the non-Muslim. If we educated in a right manner with the intellectual manner, I think the non-Muslims start listening what is halal means.
MashaAllah, brother. That was an excellent piece of information that even fruits also have this sort of a halal concept involved in it. MashaAllah. The next question is, brother, which is the low-hanging fruit in halal production in India, which can be started with low investment as low as 5 to 10 lakhs, and who are the consulting agencies which can help in this regard?
I mentioned earlier, there are two industry which you immediately can start within 10 lakhs budget. Papadams, and maybe you can go with the pickles. So these are the huge demand. You see the achi masala, they come to the pickle industry now. And we have a name called Ruchi Urukai and Priya pickles. These are doing great value, no? They're exporting every Muslim and non-Muslim country. So it's not necessarily I'll give you another example, no? Even the pickle, many people think that Muslim, this is what happened in India, no? So whenever I travel, I look into the pickles, I ask them whether it's halal certified. And people start laughing on me, no? Brother, you are taking pickles and asking for halal certification. I will go with the technical, that's why I mentioned to you earlier. This session, it required for 1 day workshop, it's not for 1 hour. So I'll give one example. To make a pickle, you need a red chili, correct? So most of the time, the red chili will not give that kind of red. So what they do, they bring industrial color name called carmine. Where is carmine is come from? In the technical manner, they put E121. That's the only thing they mention in your pickle. So what is E121? It's representing carmine. What is carmine? Carmine is an insect. What is carmine does? It produces red color. The insect produces red color. If the person continuously eating red color, either is a chicken 65, any food coloring, that will result in 5 years time you will get a cancer. Scientifically proved. So I don't take pickle without halal certification. The reason why halal certification ensure the standard to say that if anything harmful to mankind, that's not permittable to be produced in the factories.
So for the knowledge of all the participants, these are some information which I don't think many of us understood and had known. MashaAllah, it's a beautiful piece of information which Brother JINNA has just given us. Brother, the next question would be, does beef export from India have halal certification?
This question is very generic question. I could not able to comment without knowing the brands. So there are brands who certified halal. See, we don't certify any meat industry in India. For me, I don't certify any meat industry because, again, most of the people you travel to Middle East and you have happen to eat al-baik, correct?
Yes.
Al-baik is the only slaughtering house who produce mechanical slaughtering. Do you know what is meaning of mechanical slaughtering?
It is automated process of slaughtering the.
Correct. So what happened? The chicken will be in a conveyor belt, and there is a background noise, background speaker say that Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar every 2 seconds. So the conveyor belt produce the chicken. So the belt will remotely cut with a knife. So there is no human touch with the birds. Only the machine will cut through the birds. So this is the chicken we are eating every day in Middle East.
Right.
So that's called mechanical slaughtering. Again,
is it allowed? Is it allowed Islamically?
Again, it's a debatable. I don't want to go into the scholars' opinion. Most of the scholars in Middle East, most of the scholars in Europe, they reject mechanical slaughtering.
So the next question is, thank you so much for the session. Which is the most lucrative halal business to scale globally with?
No, as I mentioned, no, it's not only for food industry. Today, the cosmetic industry itself, for example, lipstick. I just wanted to go with the lipstick. Many brothers buy the lipstick for their wife or sister or mothers. So lipstick, again, it's come with the red color, correct? The red color representing carmine. The carmine come from haram source. So knowingly, unknowingly, our sisters and mothers or wife are being used for that kind of red color cosmetics, which is a lipstick, will produce cancer in the next to 5 years time. Second, the moisturizing come from pig fat. So that's why the cosmetic industry in particular, Middle East, even in Singapore, Malaysia, every lipstick has a halal certifications.
Okay, brother. MashaAllah. The next question would be, what are the risk measures and government rules on manufacturing industries as compared to retail industries?
No, in India, the manufacturing industry, you need to obtain the FSSC license. It's very simple process, but it's based on which state you are going to operate. If you're going to operate in Pondicherry, then the taxation is very less, and the government policy is very reluctant. You can operate in Pondicherry. The same thing when you operate in Tamil Nadu, the bureaucracy will take longer period. So you have to measure which one, where you want to operate your industry.
Okay. The next question would be, I saw most of the companies in South India are certified by Erode company. How trustable are they?
So as I mentioned, these three reliable certified bodies across global. And for example, Halal India, we have been accepted by 115 countries. I am a chairperson of 112 countries. The Halal certification body, we have a get together every year, and I am chairing that 112 countries Halal certification body as a chairman.
MashaAllah. So what was the name of the organization yet again? Could you just tell?
The person who's asking about Erode is one of the person who's issuing certification. So his question is how reliable. So only Allah knows. I don't know how many scientists and how many R&D people working in Erode Halal certification body. That's the question. I leave it to the question who's being raised. Please check with them how many R&D people working their organization, what kind of process they're maintaining it.
Understood, sir. Next question is, can you please list top 5 conditions to get a product halal certified?
Okay, so the halal certification is not just issued by the Mufti. No, first you have to clear your mind. You have to produce very stringent process, and your environmental. I'll give you another example. No, and 6 years ago, I think 6 or 7 years ago, we are asked to certify one of the plant in Gujarat. That plant producing sugar factory is a sugar factory. It's one of the topmost millionaire in Gujarat. So they're requesting us to export. They got order from Indonesia and Malaysia to export halal certified sugar. Let me go back. Why halal? If you come to Singapore, I don't know how many people visited Singapore. Even the water is being certified halal. The sugar is being certified halal. Also, the salt is being certified halal. Let me just go with a direct question here. When you take a sugar, there is a raw material name called carbon, active carbon. What is active carbon? Anyone knows what is active carbon? Jubran, any idea?
Not aware, sir. I'm just thinking it.
Okay. So active carbon is nothing but a bone. So in India, you have noticed that the people are collecting bones on the streets. Either is a dog bone, animal bone, human bone. This bone, if you happen to travel Pondicherry to Kadalur, there is a big industry of Sipcot industry, where these bones will be crushed into the powders. So the raw material of making sugar, you need to have a refined sugar. Have you seen the wording refined sugar?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever think about what is a refined sugar?
No. We thought that it's a process of powdering it or...
From sugar cane, it will go to the brown sugar. From brown sugar, you need to refine that sugar to whitening. That's called refined sugar. To make the whitening, you need to involve bones. That's why called active carbon. Active carbon is nothing but bones. Most of the time, the sugar factory using pig bones to clean the sugars. That's the end product which you are eating today.
Okay. Okay. So the next question would be, is there any halal venture capitalists in the country? I mean, for investment.
India's none. We have created this industry in global like Turkey, Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, Brunei, even Japan, Korea. I am appointed person by the government of Korea and Japan. I'm doing a proposal. I'm doing a complete end-to-end proposal to the Japan government for 2020 Olympics. So because of that, today if you visit Narita Airport, one of the largest airport you can find the prayer hall. We design, we give a proposal to Japan government, and based on that today, if you can find the tourism area at least one or two halal certified restaurant, it's a sushi, the local sushi, but in the halal version. What is sushi? Most of the time, the sushi is come from fermentations from the wine. But now we come to the non fermented area which produce sushi, so that we have halal certified version of Japanese food.
So a personal question from me, how in particular did you get the inspiration to study all these products so much in deeply in regards with the halal concept over the back?
Yeah, so that's why I mentioned, no, you need to have at least the background of your technicality. For example, you're talking about end user perspective, you're talking about technical perspective.
No, I'm talking about the personal inspiration in terms of how did you come to an industry like this wherein you had the inspiration to learn.
We do conduct a lot of, every month there are 3-4 training programs. We're conducting 3-4 training program we have from the scratch. Talk about the ingredients, talk about the environmental sector segments, and talk about the criticality of the halal the food manufacturing. And today I can proudly say that no, we have certified 85,000 products in India as a halal.
Mashallah.
And out of 85,000, 100% are non-Muslims are taking halal certification. Can you believe that?
Surprising, very surprising.
Yeah, correct. I cannot name one Muslim company who come forward to take halal certification. The reason why they say that I'm a Muslim, why I should take halal certification? I give another example. Even your chicken tandoori, in your chicken 65, this red color come from haram source.
Okay.
But we are happily go and eat because it's a Muslim restaurant. We never ask the rights what is halal. So it's not only meat. I keep repeating, no. That's why when I start my program, my session this morning, I correlate with the COVID with the current situation. Why? The people eating non-halal product, that's a result we are facing the pandemic. It's well connected.
Mashallah. So the next question is non-Muslim meat brands that are halal certified like Venky's or Godrej. Is there an audit process for these?
Yes, correct. Venky's are claim that they have halal certification by Jamiatul Ulama. Godrej also claim that they have halal certification from Jamiatul Maharashtra. We, as my team, Halal India, we never do any kind of meat certification in India and across the globe. The reason why, that's a criticality as mentioned. You need to have a stunning, they call it as a stunning process. Do you know anyone know what is a stunning process?
Stunning is the process of killing the meat in chatka.
Before you slaughter the meat, the animal, there is a process named called stunning. So there are 4 types of stunning. Bullet stunning, which means the bullet gun will be shoot into the head of the beef. That's called bullet stunning. Then second, chemical stunning. Number 3rd, water butt stunning. Number 4, electrical stunning. So what happened? No, if the chicken is given the stun, next 5 minutes it's unconscious. It goes to unconscious. So people take this chicken into the conveyor belt and they do manually say Bismillah and cut the animal. The question arises here: if the animal died during the unconscious, how the slaughterman knows? And they have no question, no answer.
So, but why do they do stunning? I mean, is there any particular reason why they do?
Yeah, correct. See what happened if they stun, they can do easily can slaughter the animals because it's unconscious.
Okay, understood.
If it's unstunned, the animals are live. So you need to control, no? So the slaughter process take longer time.
Okay, understood. Okay, so the next question is, most of the Muslim community, we understood halal is the meat animal cut in the name of Allah. This point also included in halal issue certification.
Yeah. So again, the Muslim community is completely misunderstood about the halal slaughtering. It's a way of slaughtering. We can call it as an ethical way of slaughtering.
Sorry,
maybe we can call it as a...
Excuse me, who's this?
Okay. Can I continue?
Yes, brother. I think some sort of a problem. I don't know. Multiple people are joining from my
No problem. No problem.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So when it comes to halal, right? So what happened? The meat industry today, they're coming to the certification process with more into the humane, so like mercy slaughtering. We can call it as a mercy slaughtering. So
Okay.
before you slaughter the animal, there are 5 prerequisites need to follow. Number one, the animal must be healthy. Number two, the knife must be sharpened. Number three, when you cut the animal, the second animal should not be seen, should not be heard. Number
Yes.
four, the animal must be living in a healthy environment. So we have to do the prerequisite. When you cut that animal, you have to cut only for the jugular vein. Not see what happened. I've seen many places, even the villages. No, they cut first Bismillah, cut the animal or bird, chicken or meat, the lamb. Immediately, what they do, no, they turn the back, saying that they broken the head. So if you do that practice again, it's a unethical, it's a haram, the meat. You know what happened? When you cut the jugular vein, the brain still active. See, I'm going with very technical and scientific. I don't want to go with the scholars kind of a talks. I don't want to do that because I'm not a scholar. I don't want to do the scholar type of speech. It's today's session is more technical, scientific. I can talk about more in scientific. See, for example, if you cut the jugular vein here on the left side, the brain is still active. It gives the message to heart saying that I'm still alive. What the heart function is? It's keep on pumping. When it's keep on pumping till the last blood drop, the animal will be in a coma stage. So that particular meat is consumption, good for consumption for mankind, not for Muslims. So we completely understood that entire halal way of slaughtering, and we keep calling that halal is for Muslim. Again, I repeated many times, halal is not for Muslims, halal is for mankind. Halal is not only for meat, halal is for the lifestyle.
Sir, the next question is how to export, how to find world buyers. Do you have any suggestion on this?
No, once you take the certification, we will guide you where are the markets available. We connect with the network B2B.
Okay, understood. How can we set up the manufacturing for FMCG and what is the market scope of it?
No, based on the product. No, we cannot just go. We cannot answer in general. This question is very general question you asked. So let's fix what kind of industry is talking about, and we will give the guidance based on that.
The next question is as Mr. Jinnah informed that Singaporeans are seeking halal as science, not a religion-based factor. My question is how can we create a faith about halal among non-Muslim people, especially in countries like India?
Yeah, so you can, so this segment, right, most of the time when you talk about halal, immediately the non-Muslim people who do not understand the halal values and talking about Islamophobia, talking about your funding for the terrorists, all this kind of thing. Singapore government is a non-Muslim government and they understand the Muslim value and also the value to the non-Muslim value. So the KFC chicken and McDonald's, you name it, all the great international chain, food chain, and they have the government issuing certification with a reliable partnership. There is a scrutinized with completely done. We have a laboratories, we have a scientists, and we have ulamas. So what is missing in India? No, the Muslims themselves, we understood halal is only for meat, and even that meat we don't follow kind of a prerequisite what I mentioned earlier. So it's educational. It's educational. It's awareness program. We need to do in most into the non-Muslim countries.
Understood, sir. The next question is where can we learn about the process of halal of the day-to-day commodities which we are using?
See, I give another example. No, India, when we certified one of the product as a oil-based product, is a well-known brand in Tamil Nadu, and I requested the managing director saying that can you put halal logo in India? So the moment he said that no, let me go and do the kind of research and come back to me after 2 months, saying that it's a risky, but still I wanted to convince about your technical background. Let me do in India. Let me experience it. So it's a complete halal certified oil brand, oil-based product. Oil completely is oil, and he put halal logo in India. Okay, the same brand exporting many countries, no issues. The moment he put halal brand, the Muslim called the manufacturer saying that, did you put chicken or meat in your oil? See, the mindset of the people. Anything halal, it's immediately connecting to the beach. So within 2 days later, he removed all the product from the shelf and he removed the halal certification in India. And that product is completely halal certified, but he's selling in India without logo.
Understood, sir. The next question is, how is the response to your organization when you try to visit / certify non-Muslim industries, particularly food? Do they cooperate?
Alhamdulillah, very, very positive, and people are welcoming the non-Muslim people. Learn people, no, they're welcoming the
Yes.
concept, and they completely understand. They're following the concept, and they're respecting the concept.
The next question is, white sugar and refined oils are also proved to be a reason for cancer. In this case, how halal certification is being given?
Correct. So that is a question. Halal is not, whenever in Quran Allah mentioned halal, the second part will be halal and tayyiban. We Muslim community never even practice about tayyiban. What is a tayyiban? Wholesome. Correct.
Yes.
Tayyib means wholesome.
Yes.
So when you take the sugar, we certify only the halal ingredients, and we are not saying that you can take sugar, because if you take sugar, you will get a diabetes. So it's compliance. But we are confirming the source. The source is halal now, but how much you want to take, how much you want to see. Even when I say salt, if it's certified halal, it's not necessarily you can take 3 spoons of salt every day, correct?
Yes.
So there is a limitations. So based on the limitation, that's why halal and tayyiban play a major role. Tayyiban means it's wholesome. What is required to your body, it does not require to you. My body is different than your body intake, correct?
Yes.
So I can take one teaspoon of sugar, you can take 2 teaspoons of sugar, because your body metabolism is differently act than me. But
Okay.
what we ensure that the product we are taking as a sugar is a halal, but we are not saying that complaints about tayyiban.
Understood. The next question is, how a local good brand snacks manufacturer can do export to foreign countries if they don't have contacts, to whom they should approach, how to approach? Please
Okay,
suggest
so
you.
once you take halal certification, and we are having a World Halal Day every year in different parts of the world, and we will invite you to participate, and you can meet a 60 to 70 country business people, B2B and B2G, G2G. It depends on you how you position your product.
Okay. The next question is, any particular suggestion for Maharashtra in terms of opportunity in halal industry?
There are lot of opportunity in Maharashtra, and we have almost 300 plus factories who certified halal. All of 300 factories are belongs to non-Muslims, and they're exporting Middle East, European country, and ASEAN countries.
Okay. The next question is, how do we source a food product companies who is in halal manufacturer, who are halal manufacturers in India? Any particular website for that?
Yeah, we do have a website. I think my team will be sharing later on.
What is the minimum cost for a halal certification?
See, again, this is no cost involved here. Without knowing the product, what kind of ingredients being used, how many product they're manufacturing, what are the ingredients, what are the criticality they have. Based on the criticality, based on the ingredients, then the team, the technical team will advise.
Okay.
It's not like a fixed product. No, okay, give me 1,000 rupees, I'll give you certification. Certification is not for selling. Certification is for servicing.
Understood, sir. The next question is, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm a clinical pharmacologist. I am in marketing nutraceutical products. It is WHO GMP certified, WHO GMP certified. Inshallah, I'm planning for exports and I want to apply for halal certification, as any consumable to Islamic countries ask for this. How many weeks would it take and how many times can I renew?
Okay, so it depends on the ingredients list, and our scientific team, we have a pharmaceutical by experts, biotechnology people. They will go through your product range of product and mechanism of the processes, and we will ensure that there is no haram ingredients or haram process will be involved, and we will recommend accordingly, and we will take it. So normally it takes 3 to 4 weeks.
Okay, sir. Understood. The next question, I am from Sri Lanka,
And
and
I'll give you one more example
yeah,
because as long as the sister someone
sure.
touch base with the pharmaceutical,
Yes.
we are the first one in the global. We certified halal vaccine.
Oh,
You know
mashallah.
vaccines, right?
Yes,
If you go to Umrah, you need to put the vaccine, correct or not?
yes.
What is the vaccine name?
Not sure, sir.
Yeah, the vaccine name called Manitages.
Okay.
Where the raw material come from Manitages?
Uh, Dead bacteria.
Pig, pig.
So, how do people who are taking meningitis vaccine, how can they get a halal
Correct.
vaccine?
So you have to connect my earlier slide. The Muslim is not even thinking about setting up the laboratories. The insulin is come from pig today. But
Okay.
again, a lot of fatwas is available. People say that if you're going to die, you can inject haram source also, no problem. Because no alternative for halal today. But my question is, why the Muslim rich people, they are not investing into the knowledge-based economy? Even COVID, when the COVID is, the vaccine is available, we don't know where this resource come from, raw material come from. We should, the Muslim scientists should be actively participating in this kind of segments. That's why I mentioned 800 years we are in a coma.
The next question is
Inshallah, it takes longer time. Now we are educating many. I have traveled 110 countries.
yes, sir. I mean, every question you are answering, mashallah, something new to learn. Subhanallah. So it's a very mashallah
So
insightful session.
I mentioned to I'm more interactive rather than I just give a speech because it's my 20 years of traveling and experience in the industry. So you cannot just squeeze everything within 1 hour. That's impossible.
I understand. The next question is, I am from Sri Lanka, and we in Sri Lanka have faced a lot of problems with halal certification issued by all Ceylon Jamiatul Ulama. Now they have changed the logo to HAC, Halal Accreditation Council. What are your insights on it?
Yeah, correct. See, that's why I mentioned to how you educating the non-Muslim is a key factor here. In India, I think the ulamas and the Muslim people the Muslim communities fail to experiment the scientific effects of halal. That's why the non-Muslim misunderstood the concept. They think halal is only you are forcing someone to eat halal product because they know only meat. They say that you say Allah Akbar and eat. Then the Hindu asks, why you say Allah Akbar? I should eat. So you need to translate into the scientific way. Brother, what I'm recommending, this is good for health. If you eat halal certified meat, we are safe and secure. Your product is good. So you can take this example, no?
Understood.
Do this kind of experimental. Take halal way of slaughter meat and take another non-halal way of slaughtering meat. Put into the table within 45 minutes. The halal certified halal way of slaughtering meat, it won't give any kind of smell. The way you cut that animal, the non-halal way, it start producing smell. Reason, the bacterial infection start into the meat.
Understood, sir. So the next question actually is a follow-up question from the doctor who had asked you in regards to the pharmaceutical products. I think he's asking for, should I apply for each and every product?
Yeah, we have a different kind of certification. Some people just want to take one product. We call it as a product scheme. Some people wanted to take the entire plant, the full factory. That's called whole plant certification. So based on their interest, and we go with the product base.
Okay. Sir, we actually have already been short of time. I mean, we've already crossed our 12 o'clock. I mean, one hour session. But inshallah, I will take still a couple of questions more. We have like 43 questions more. We have answered already 30 questions. So, mashallah, these questions have been pouring in. So, let's hope for the best, inshallah. I'll just take a few more. I hope people don't mind. So, one of our non-Muslim brothers, Mr. Karthik, has asked a question. How can we achieve halal concepts in countries like India?
Yeah, correct. It's a completely educational process. The Muslim community fail to do that. I'm urging you, I'm requesting all the Muslim brothers who has been educated, please demonstrate halal is not for Muslims. Halal is for mankind. Again, halal is not only for meat. Halal is for the lifestyle. The way you talk, the way you see, the way you hear, the way you write in the Facebook, the way you communicate to the non-Muslim, that's called halal. It's ethical. Even the politics should be halal. When the Muslim brother or non-Muslim participating in politics, he don't take any corruption. That's called halal politics. So why you restricted halal into the food?
Understood.
We fail. The Muslim community fail. And we have to correct our mistakes.
Brother, the next question is, I inquired for halal certification code and the rates were alarmingly high. Why is the cost so high? Shouldn't
I
it
don't
be
know.
low?
I don't know, brother, which organization is talking about. I cannot comment based on without knowing the proof. Maybe if he saying that some of the organization quoted high, I don't know which organization is talking.
Okay. There is another question. Also, I think Al Wataniya chicken is also under mechanical slaughtering. Your insights on this?
What is the question is about?
Al Wataniya, the famous chicken company in Saudi Arabia, Wataniya Group, are they also doing mechanical slaughtering?
For Wataniya, I have no concern. I don't know what kind of slaughtering they're doing it. I know about Al-Bai. That's why I commented. Without knowing the product, it's not good to comment here.
Understood, brother. Brother, I will take the last question, probably last two short questions. Would you certify alcohol-based hand sanitizer as halal? If not, why?
Okay, again, this is science. There are two types of alcohol. One is industrial alcohol, we call ethanol. Then the other segment is named called the intoxication of alcohol. So when you take this alcohol from roots of wine, for example, fruits, natural wine, which is intoxicated, that product is najis for you to use in a hand. If it's an industrial alcohol, so we are using in India, no, we call it as a tincture, right? When you put injection, you have tincture.
Yes.
That's called spirit, industrial spirit. Okay. So taking industrial spirit, nothing, no problem. It's a halal. So if you take industrial alcohol as a drink, you will die. But if you drink alcohol, which is a wine and other alcohol, is intoxicating. It's a fermenter. That is najis. You should not use in your hands as a sanitizer.
Okay. Brother,
you understand my answer?
Totally understood, brother. The two types of alcohol. Yes.
Yeah, there are two types of alcohol. Industrial alcohol, natural alcohol.
The next question would be, the last question is, when the carmine comes from insect, how are they labeling it with green dot for which vegetables in India?
So there is no regulatory in India. Anybody who produce manufacturing, they can allow to put a red dot or green dot. So normally in India, the practice is no, it's a self-declaration. There is no authority to ensure what is the ingredients in India. So that's why in general, 95% of the product in India, they put green dot. It does not mean for me, it's a vegetarian.
Okay, brother. So, brother, I think that will be the last question. Jazakallah khairan. We still have 41 questions. So, now 42 again. So, what I will do is I will take these questions and inshallah, I will try to post it to you. And we have, alhamdulillah, answered more than 36 questions. May Allah reward you for your valuable insight and for your knowledge. May Allah increase your knowledge in abundance and help you share this with a lot of people, inshallah. So, I would really thank you for your valuable time dropping in from Singapore for a webinar and helping all the people associated with Ikhlas IS Academy as well as the participants who have come. And indeed, I have enjoyed the session and I hope everyone amongst us has enjoyed the session. Jazakallah khairan. Thank you for your time.
Brother, thank you very much. Before I leave here, I would like to convey one or two messages here. Yeah. We do regularly conducting a training program in Chennai in different parts of India. So if you need to attend those trainings, it's a one-day training program. We have a awareness program. We have a auditors program, we have a lead auditors program. So those who are interested to know about halal industry, what they're eating today, what kind of ingredients in the each and every, even the biscuits, even your chocolate, even your ice cream, there are a lot of ingredients hidden. which you do not know. So if you are eating knowingly, unknowingly, Allah may forgive, but if you know the technical aspect of now today, if you eat, and that's why the Muslim community failing globally, our dua is not accepted. And we are going to Umrah every day. There are millions of people making dua. Why the dua is not get answered? That's a question I ask as a basic, like you know. See, 1 million people going to Mecca every year, every day, and doing Umrah, and they're crying and asking Subhanahu wa Ta'ala to give a mercy to the Muslim. But Allah is not responding well. The reason behind our food culture, our food habits completely change. We say Bismillah and eat, but we don't know what kind of ingredients we eat. And we are providing the same kind of things to our children, next generation. Everything. When you take a soap, when you take cosmetics, toothpaste, even toothpaste. Most of the toothpaste, we are not even bothered on what kind of toothpaste we are using in the daily. There are harmful chemicals in your toothpaste. For example, you have a parabens and you have a fluoride. These two, parabens and fluoride, it's a root cause for the cancer. It's scientifically proved. And we are taking this toothpaste and we are giving to our children. So these children become a cancer patients in the next 10 years and 50 years time. This is what happened globally. Okay, so thank you.
Thank you so much, brother. So I'll just mention to all the participants who would like to contact brother Jinnah or his team. You can contact the admin team directly. We will provide you with the contact details as in regards with his Indian team and also his email ID if at all necessary. And we'll provide it to you.
Brother Gibran, I give my contact person, Mr. Imran, is based in India, Chennai.
Okay. Yes, I do have his number. And I will, inshallah, provide his contact details to all the participants who, inshallah, would require your support.
Correct. You share Brother Imran's email ID and his phone number so that everybody can easily contact him.
I will do that, Brother Jinnah. Jazakallah khairan. Thank you so much for your time and looking forward for your active association with us in the future as well.
Jazakallah, Brother Jinnah. MashaAllah, it was a wonderful session. Jazakallah. Inshallah, hope we have more.
Thank you. Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Salam.
Salam.